talk some basketball now. Lakers, a win tonight over the Heat, and they are your NBA champs. It would also be exactly as both Nick and I predicted, Lakers in 5. So we saw Jimmy Butler go off in Game 3 for 40. A new report says that after that game, a frustrated Anthony Davis demanded to be, quote, glued to Jimmy Butler. Paid off for the Lakers in Game 4, so much so that Butler even said after the game that Davis is an incredible defender. Nick, are people undervaluing AD's defense when it comes to the Finals MVP discussion?
I don't think so. Listen, AD should have won Defensive Player of the Year. I've said that for the last few months. Anthony Davis is the best, most versatile, do-it-all defender in all of basketball. And he showed that by being able to switch out onto Jimmy Butler, even though Jimmy Butler's 6 inches shorter than him, and give him problems all night long. But through 4 games, Finals MVP is not a debate. It's a fun thing to talk about on these shows, but there's a reason why, if you want to put money on it, to win money on LeBron, you have to risk $800 to win $100. And if you put those same $800 on Anthony Davis, you would win $4,800. Because through 4 games, LeBron James has scored more points, has more rebounds, has more assists. The one knock on LeBron is his 4 turnovers a game. But AD's averaging 3 turnovers a game, despite touching the ball a small percentage of the time LeBron does as far as handling it, bringing it up the court. And in the most critical moment of the Lakers season, who took over? LeBron James. Not just in the 4th quarter where he had 11 points, 5 boards, 2 assists in the 4th quarter of Game 4, but 83-83 with 6 minutes left in Game 4. It's LeBron and 1. It's LeBron free throws, LeBron assist to give the Lakers, to win the game for the Lakers, to give them the 7-point lead with 2 minutes left. Anthony Davis hit a big 3, and I'll give him credit for it. That 3 happened up 6 with 39 seconds left. The game was over, make or miss. They're up 6 with 39 seconds left. So Wilds, I understand how great AD has been defensively. He's been good on the offensive end, not as good as LeBron. And it's not over, because if AD has 45, 15, and 8 tonight, and LeBron plays poorly, AD will win it. But right now, Wilds, it is not a debate.
Okay. So I think LeBron wins it. And I think part of the reason those odds are so skewed, like you said, is because this award is not being voted on by robots. It's being voted on by people. And I think every voter went in saying, like, this is kind of LeBron's Finals MVP. Kind of deserves this one. I just feel like it was made up in this. They want to give it to him. It's like how they're like, hey, we want to give an Academy Award to Martin Scorsese. It's like, yeah, it was the Irishman good? Like, we want to give it to him. I just think in their hearts, the voters want to give it to LeBron. But just with stats, here's how I think AD could deserve the award. The first thing I think he would help him have a series-defining moment. We haven't really had that from the finals yet. We haven't had our Iguodala block. We haven't had our Jordan shrug. If there was a series-defining moment that you're going to see for the rest of your life, and it comes from AD, I think it would help him. Number 2, keep scoring efficiently. He's shooting better than LeBron, just more efficiently. Not a big deal, because it's not worth a lot, but keep doing that. 3, lead the Lakers in points, rebounds, steals, and blocks. And here's how that stat line would look, Nick. And it's not outrageous to think this could happen. And then I think it would really hurt your like points, look, this is a normal game. Yeah. This is not a bad game from LeBron. But AD goes and has 15 rebounds. So at that point, he would be leading in all the major statistical categories besides assists, which I don't think anybody would, expect him to lead in. And then I think you would make a real case that AD played better. And even if LeBron won, it's because
why does he continue to leave out assists?
Because he's not going to lead.
Why does he continue to lead?
It's silly because he's not going to lead in assists. You want to put it up there? LeBron's got more assists. Surprise, surprise. It's not his job to do assists. It's just not. It's not his job.
I don't care. Well, really, this is great. And I do think, you know, if he has a defining moment and maybe if they, you know, go to game 6, game 7, he'll have an opportunity to win it. But as of right now, he has no chance. And everybody's talking about his defense. I don't give a damn how much defense he's playing. He has no chance. And here's why, Nick, you said something yesterday off of what responding off of what Wild said. Because Wild refused to put up assists. You're like, well, how can we leave assists off of these graphs when LeBron is the point guard?
The point.
Like, you have to put that in there. And then you went in and you said something. I was like, well, maybe I need to do a little bit more research there. Well, LeBron's leading in points, rebounds, and assists. I'm like, all right, let me pull out my little Google calendar and my Google sheet and see what's going on here in these categories. And I find that it really hasn't been done. You got to go back to 1987 when the first time this ever been done when a guy in the finals led his team in those 3 categories. And that was done for the very first time by Magic. And then followed up in 2003 by Tim Duncan. And then guess who else did it 3 other times? LeBron James. And that's why it's a big deal. When you do something that rarely gets done, it's not a debate, man. This guy is the MVP. Well, if they win this game tonight, just crown him right away.
I want to ask Wilds a question, because Wilds frustrated, and I understand.
Sure.
And the reason I was making the faces I was making is if you think LeBron's going to have a 22.7 rebound closeout game of the finals, I got a boat to sell you. But more importantly, you said something I find very interesting, Wilds. You said assists aren't Anthony Davis's job, right? You said that.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yes, I did.
Okay, I have a question for you. What is not LeBron's job?
I would say blocks are not necessarily job. I would say rebounds not necessarily his job, but yeah.
Okay, but he has more rebounds than AD, and they're almost even on blocks. He has more rebounds, and they're almost even on blocks. So it's not just the statistical case. It's also if we want to do the definition of valuable. And that is where, when you're like, well, the voters win it. If they did, it's not because they're so desperate to give LeBron Finals MVP awards. He averaged 36, 13, and 9 one year, and they gave it to the guy who was guarding him, who averaged 16 points a game. So it's not like voters like, oh, we always got to give it to LeBron. We always got to give it to LeBron. It's because if they did have a preconceived notion, if they win, it's going to be LeBron. It's because as great as Anthony Davis is, this year, maybe it changes down the road, everyone knows, including AD, who the most valuable Laker is. Nobody denies that.
That's right. That's right.
Everybody knows. Who sets the tone, who controls the
Nick, Nick, that's it. No, that's debatable. That's debatable. No, I think LeBron is the leader, but when you talk about how do you get the path to the championship, without AD, this doesn't happen. And obviously we know that because it's a team and there's other guys that contributed. Sure. But AD was the hottest player in the bubble. AD's been playing lights out. But when we break down the finals, this is discussion about the finals. It's LeBron. But this whole thing about, you know, who's the most valuable player on this team is debatable because AD is doing something that this league has never seen before. And you got to keep that in the back of our mind when we have these discussions.
Listen, I think AD's been tremendous. I think he has no doubt cemented himself as one of the 5 best players in the league and will have an argument to go into next year as one of the 2 best players in the league. But sometimes we can't see the forest for the trees. Who has had, of the 2 guys, who has had the single best game? LeBron, with his 33-9-9 with 0 turnovers in game 2. Of the 2 players, who has had the worst game? Wilds, tell me which Anthony Davis game was better than LeBron game 2. Oh, wait.
No, because I haven't. I don't have 33-9-9. Stand by.
You know what's happening? You know what's happening?
There isn't one. And who's had the worst game?
Nick, you know what we're going to see?
Anthony Davis's game 3 with his 15-5. Yeah.
The only drama left in this series is about who's going to win MVP, and I absolutely love it. What is LeBron James known for? He's known for being the ultimate teammate. We crushed him the first 7 years of his career, from deferring in the clutch moments, going to the basket when he should take it up, and kicking it out to D-Wade, Ray out. Like, we crush him for being a team player. This is going to be the first time we see a selfish LeBron James, because you got to think, when the game's on the line, when we're in this game tonight, he's going to be just jacking up shots to get that MVP. This is the first time we're going to see a selfish LeBron James, Nick.
Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. I don't know if I agree with it, but it's interesting.
All right, well, Tom Brady did something last night I don't think LeBron has ever done, and it tickles Nick Pink. Little mental lapse. Thursday Night Football. Next.